Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. We are doing a new in beauty and we're kind of catching up because I missed May. So this is like new in beauty for May and June. I've got a little collection of brand new makeup and beauty drops and I'm excited to share with you how it all went using those to put this look together. All these beauty drops and the rate that they're dropping can be a bit overwhelming. And if you love beauty like me, it can be hard to figure out what is worth it or not. That was my whole motivation for creating this series, is to give you honest reviews of all this slew of new products so you know what products are new hits and what products are just new hype. And before we go any further, do me a huge favor, give this video a like, do consider subscribing to my channel. I upload weekly all about beauty and real life and I would love to see you here next week. Without further ado, if you'd like to see how I created this look and what I think of all the products that went into it, just keep on watching. All right, I am fresh faced. I've done all my skincare except SPF. There have been 2 SPF launches lately that I'm gonna try both of them today. The reason I am trying both of these today is because I am just very, very curious how sheer they truly are. And I'm really curious how they're going to wear under makeup. Those are my 2 biggest questions whenever I'm trying to figure out if a sunscreen is going to work for me. Risky as it may be for me to be trying these under makeup for the first time, both of these, it gives us twice the likelihood of having a problem. But I really need to get those questions answered. I need to know if this pills. These are from 2 of my top 10 favorite skincare brands. So I have pretty high expectations. First one is from Caudalie. This is an SPF 50. This is their Vinosun Protect. This one says it's a clean, silicone-free mineral sunscreen. It has 21.1% non-nano zinc oxide. It also contains niacinamide and viniferine. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but that is kind of like their star vitamin C alternative ingredient that is really, really potent. It's in their Vino Perfect serum, which is like a cult favorite of Caudalie. So it seems that they've added this sunscreen right in line with like the Vino Perfect brightening line. Other notes, it says it's fragrance-free, non-comedogenic, suitable for pregnant women, vegan, and this one is in recyclable packaging. Very, very cool. And it's $39, which is less than what I would think, honestly, for Caudalie. I would expect more like maybe $49, but $39. Don't get me wrong, it's not cheap, but for Caudalie, I think that that is decent. Shake well before use. I guess I'm gonna use that one on this side. I know it's like the 2 to 3 fingers for a full face. So I'm just gonna do 1 finger. Something to always keep in mind when you're watching sunscreen demos and the person who's demoing the sunscreen is gonna be speaking to the claims of the product being truly sheer and having no white cast. In order to really verify and substantiate that claim, you need to see that demo on some deeper, more rich skin tones, because something that I noticed is that brands, they love to make that claim. Nearly every sunscreen loves to make that claim, but then they do all of their marketing, or they'll show mostly demos on people with lighter complexions. Those are actually the people who don't really deal with that issue, the people who can likely get away with it if the product does have a white cast. The consumers who are actually looking to see that it truly doesn't have a white cast, who truly deal with the issue of a white cast, are those with tanner and deeper complexions. So just keep that in mind when you watch demos, because I obviously have a very light skin tone. So a sunscreen that I might be able to get away with, someone with tanner and deeper skin may not be able to get away with. And that white cast may show up on them, but not on me. So I can't be the end all be all to be an example and speak to that claim. We have the Caudalie Vinosun applied to this side of the face. I'm gonna let it sit for a minute, but we are looking that kind of pearlescent, glowy, kind of bluish grayish hue, at least in person. But the more it sits, the more I'm seeing that fade. So let's hope that that fully dissipates. When I'm going to be wearing makeup, I can't say that I care too much about that, because I'm going to be putting on complexion product and covering it up anyway. The other sunscreen I'm going to try is from the Outset, and this is their Hydrasheer 100% mineral sunscreen. This one is an SPF 30, also fragrance free, vegan, cruelty free. The Outset is all about sensitive skin, so formulated and suitable for sensitive skin, allergen free, gluten free, silicone free, non-comedogenic. This is $44, so there is a $5 difference between these two. And they've got snow mushroom in here, tremella. That's very cool. I didn't realize that. Niacinamide as well, ceramides for the skin barrier, hyalurosate complex, and it says that that is their botanical alternative to hyaluronic acid, which nourishes, plumps, and smooths the skin, as well as the zinc oxide, of course. This one I wore last weekend. We went to IKEA and I was just having a no makeup day and it went on. I was scared when this went on, you guys. You'll see here. I felt like I was just glowing like lavender blue gray, and I was worried about this one actually having a cast on me, but as it settled, this one seemed to sheer out as well. So there we have it. We have the Outset Hydrasheer on this side, freshly applied, so I haven't given it as much time to sink in as I've given the Caudalie. But we have the Outset Hydrasheer on this side, and we have the Caudalie Vinosun on this side. I normally do my eyebrows off camera, but the other day I got this Milk Makeup Kush High Roll Brow Tint Gel. This is a tubing formula, you know, like tubing mascaras. This is the same type of a tubing formula, but it's for your eyebrows. So it's supposed to really give it that like fibrous, voluminous look, like maybe make your brow hairs longer, because isn't that what tubing mascaras are supposed to do? Today, I think I'm gonna go for Herb, which is a medium brown shade. All I've done for my brows today is put a little bit of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze gel through them, and I didn't even press it down and get that laminated effect because I wanted to be able to still brush through my eyebrows and see what this does. So I'm going to carve my eyebrows out with concealer like I normally do. I have my brows all carved out, and I have a little special guest with me as well. He's very tired. I also added some brow pencil because I don't know what I was thinking, that I was just gonna shade in my whole brow with the brow gel, but that just doesn't work because I need like some soft shading on like my actual like skin beneath the brow hairs and the sparse areas. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of how my brows are today, but you guys know I'm so particular about them. I'm not in my regular brow routine right now, so that's bothering me. I think it looks really nice. It definitely made that brow look more full. And as far as it being like a brow gel, the hold is really nice too. It's got it all lifted up. This is going to be a really good one if you like that fluffy, bushy, more natural looking brow, or you just want your brows to seem more naturally full without the pencil or pen-like strokes. Trying to go around the baby strapped to my chest, just making a mess here, like on my skin. You have like less control, but it's more of like a casual type of brow product. Now I'm just going to use my brow pen to add some strokes towards the center. Before we go in with foundation, I'm going to use a little bit of color corrector. We aren't using the most full coverage foundation. I just want to make sure kind of brighten and neutralize those typical areas of my face where it's a bit darker and there's a bit more redness. This one was the Caliray Hideaway Brightening Concealer Color Corrector that I mentioned. I think it was March's new makeup video. And today I'm going to try another product that I don't believe is new, but it's new to me. This is from Doll 10, and this is their Rose Quartz Color Corrector. Luminous Under Eye Color Corrector. I did kind of try this on a little bit earlier. Really. So you can see that that added a little bit more like brightness, but it is more of that like cooler, more like pearly pink tone. So I think I can kind of like just get away with it, especially considering it's going to be under concealer and foundation. And I've just set my eyes as well because the product on them was really getting into creases. This is the House Labs Powder in Neutral Peach. So today we're going to be using the Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Luminous Foundation. So this one, it says, step into your best light. A Longwear medium coverage foundation that gives golden hour glow all day long and stays fresh. Hydrates, brightens, and improves skin tone both instantly and over time. Resists sweat, humidity, and transfer. I'm going to apply it this time with their new foundation brush, but this brush is really interesting and it looks really nice. It has this kind of cool teardrop shape, and doesn't it look like from this angle, doesn't it look like a beauty blender? Hope I'm in focus. Let's go in with that first swipe. The swipe was just for fun, just for effect, but I am going to kind of use this brush as if it were a sponge and just do like tapping motions, especially because I used the color correctors underneath. I don't want to disturb anything, and I'm using new sunscreen, so let's not forget. I'm bringing it down the neck a little bit and onto the ears a little bit, which I am learning makes a big difference. So here's the side without. Is the side with. What I did think when I wore it though was this was what I was expecting or hoping the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation to be like. You got baby put down for the time being, and I'm actually glad I was able to now because I have all this space here where I can lean forward and you can get a better look at that foundation. I haven't added powder. I haven't put anything on top. This is just kind of the finish and the coverage of it. But I think it's also safe to say that so far it's looking good with both of these sunscreens. I haven't had any peeling yet. So our second new launch that we are going to use today is from Saie Beauty. Those who've been watching my channel, you know every time I talk about Saie Beauty, I just gush. I just love them. This is their new Dew Bronze. When I first saw this new launch from them, I was honestly a little bit confused because they already have a bronzer. It's their Sun Melt bronzer, and I actually really love that one. And I was like, oh gosh, I hope that one's not going anywhere. But this one, the packaging is pretty much identical to their Dew blushes, right down to this big kind of like doe foot applicator. This one has a little bit more of like a natural dry down and finish. It's not quite as dewy as the blush is. And I think kind of the intention of this one is to use it more like a bronzer contour hybrid because of the shades they made are a little bit more on the neutral side, it seems like. And speaking of the shades, there is 6 shades in this one. And I'm saying this with love. The shade range for this was a little bit disappointing for me. I have kind of grown as a makeup consumer, as a makeup enthusiast, and as somebody who talks about makeup and inevitably influences people on makeup, right? Like anybody else who wears makeup, whenever I see a new makeup launch, my eyes immediately go through the shades and I'm looking for my shade, right? I'm sure that's typically what you do, is that you know if you can wear this product, if there's an option for you. So that is something that I still do, of course, but in light of everything that's happened, in light of like the Euphoria mess, we all know that Euphoria messed up big time, but I think that that whole situation has been really beneficial to the makeup community in the sense that for me, at least speaking for myself, it increased so much awareness around the disparity and like having those deeper skin tones covered and included in complexion products, just how common it is that they're left out. Now, it makes me nervous to give this kind of feedback on a brand that I absolutely adore, that I get PR from, and that I otherwise think is dang near perfect. But when I see a shade range now, I look for my shade, but then I look for like Gloria's shade. I look for those really deep shades, and I look for those shades to look like shades with undertones and that were made with the same thoughtfulness as the rest of the line. I look for the ratio of those shades versus all the light medium shades and the light shades where we typically have just an abundance of choices and undertones. I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this. So the 6 shades of this Dew Bronze, but I've got to say their last shade Saie is not going to cover it for those deeper skin tones, which means that those people can't ever enjoy this product unless they add more shades. I love Saie's products and I want everybody to be able to try and enjoy them. But when you don't make shades for everyone, they simply cannot do that. I guess this is the first time that I ever really noticed like disappointment in a brand that I'm otherwise like super thrilled about all the time. But it just goes to show just how common this is and how often that there isn't enough feedback coming in to encourage brands to actually take the time to make those additional shades and cover everyone. If we could do that, and if the brand would do that in response, that's great. But my top preference, of course, is that when new products are released, they're already released, considering everyone. And there isn't this like cadence to product launches where deeper, darker skinned people are the afterthought or they have to request to be included in a product's lineup. I'm speaking more generally, obviously that can apply to like so many different products. I think I want to build this kind of nice and easy. You already know I'm using my Delva spray just to moisten my skin. It's been several minutes since I got that foundation on. And this is the shade Swim, by the way. So I feel like there's Sun Melt, the one that's in the pot, the like more cream bronze. I feel like that one is a lot just easier to blend and a lot more seamless on the skin than this one is. And I don't know if it's just like a learning curve, but it looks just a little bit more splotchy. It's not quite as easy for me to blend out. It's a little bit more pigmented than I'm used to for them, which is fine, but I just need it to have that like seamless blend, and I haven't quite perfected that with this product yet. But here, let's keep working on it and see if we can do it. Now we're going to blush, and this is not a new launch, but it's new to me. This is from Jouer. This is their Blush in Bloom. It's double-sided, and these shades are so pretty. We've got Uplift Me on this side, and we've got Amuse Me on this side. And today I'm going to use the Uplift Me shade, which is more like peachy. Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer here in the shade 6. Going to add the Jouer concealer in the shade Macaroon. This concealer kind of sets kind of quickly. It has really good coverage, but it sets more on the natural matte side, soft matte side. I'm not really used to it. I'm used to those really creamy hydrating concealers. So I kind of have to work with this one quicker than I'm used to. I love the finish. It's very like blurred and like soft glam. Okay, it's coming together. I can see the vision. Not doing like nose contour or anything today, but just a little highlighting down the nose. I am really excited about our next one. This is from LYS, and this is their new Aim High Cream Highlighter. LYS already had liquid highlighters, I believe, but they just put them into the stick form. You may have seen their stick form of the bronzer or the blushes that just came out, which I'm so sad I didn't get those in PR, but I'm really thankful to have gotten these highlighters because they look stunning. And the shade I want to use today is Genuine, which is a rose gold. It says the Aim High highlighter stick provides enviable luminosity without chunky glitter with natural sheen and buildable results. Okay, yeah, I want it on my face now. Going to add it kind of just along the top perimeter of my blush. You can already see. And their formulas, their cream formulas, are really soft. Don't use like a lot of pressure because it will squish. You need to just, it's like a very, very soft cream. Roll it all the way down before you put the lid on, because this packaging, it's easy to like hit the product and squish it around and make a mess. Wow. How pretty is that? It definitely is more of that kind of like seamless sheen. I don't see any chunky glitter, but the like light is definitely there when it hits it. It's more of that kind of like dewy wet look. Now we can powder, and I have the Ultra Peach Powder from One Size. I think they've added 3 total new shades, including the Ultra Peach. And this one says that it's brightening for fair to dark skin tones. So this should be a color everyone can use. I'm a little nervous because this powder is pigmented. Obviously it has the peach color to it. So I don't know how it's gonna soak up the concealer and if it's gonna make my under eyes too dark or not. I think I wanna use it in kind of other areas of my face before my under eye, because I wonder if I need a brighter shade to actually get a brightening effect under my under eye. Kind of the T-zone area. Forehead. The One Size powders are so good. They do exactly what they say they're gonna do. And you can so clearly see the difference from one side to the other of taking away that excess shine. The thing with that Fenty foundation too, when I wore it, it just didn't seem like it was the type of foundation that you're supposed to put a bunch of powder on. So I'm using a really light amount and I'm just pressing it into the skin. But it's doing exactly what I would want it to do. It's very, very pretty, but I don't think it's gonna be that brightening shade for my skin tone for under my eye. It's definitely gonna give a nice like peachy hue, but I think it's gonna bring my under eye down to the same shade as the rest of my face. And I really want that area to be bright. So before I've actually set my under eyes with anything, I'm actually gonna add a little bit of this Caliray, the under eye brightener color corrector, just right there, to get a little extra brightness. This is the shade Pale Sun, which is what I use just for this like inner eye area. I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit more brightness under here. Okay, I would say that that worked. Now I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills powder, and this has kind of been my go-to for this, in the shade Vanilla. I'm going to sweep just some of the Ultra Peach on top near the under eye. Maybe I can get a little bit of that peachiness. Let's get some hydration back into the skin now that we're all blurred out, and I'm going to use my Delva spray again for this. Okay, and I'm gonna add a little bit of my blush back. Kind of lost it in the setting, especially because that was such a soft shade to begin with. I do love like how smooth my skin is looking from those powders. So good. Now we're going to use kind of the corresponding Kush High Roll mascara. This is a tubing mascara. It's a clean tubing mascara that separates every single lash for definition, natural volume, and length without smudging or flaking for up to 24 hours. Okay, interesting. The pictures they have on here, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm always so skeptical of just mascara advertisements in general. I feel like they put mascara on just like the people who are the most naturally blessed with having long, luscious eyelashes who don't even need mascara. It's just like once they curl their lashes, they're like hitting their eyebrows. And so I'm like, yeah, like let's see how it looks on me. I hope I'm doing this right. I'm just applying it like I would any other mascara. Oh, you know what? I wonder how this is going to curl because my lashes are already falling. Right, I think I need to just quit while I'm ahead here. This side completely fell. This side is slowly starting to fall. But if I want to see my lashes at all, I'm going to have to recurl them. And we'll see if these tubes hang on while they're crushed in the curler. While our lashes dry, I'm going to do a quick lippy. This is Deep Taupe from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in the center in Daylight Delight. That's a really pretty shade. And I'm going to use the Revlon Super Lustrous Lip Gloss as well in the shade Rosy Future. Hello, this is a cute combo. Okay, we're just waiting on our eyelashes, which are still drying. Okay, y'all, the verdict is in on the mascara. I just tried to curl it. I'll have to zoom in so you can see, but that was a miserable fail. It broke and clumped terribly. So obviously this tubing mascara is not meant for curling, which means it's not going to work for me because I have lashes that just fall down and I need to curl them to get that like open eye desired look. So I'm kind of sad about that. I need to figure out another quick fix because I've already got it on now. Holy crap. All right, I just created lashes with some lash trios all the way across. And I think I somewhat salvaged those if you don't look too close. Yeah, that mascara, I may give it a second chance, but I also know that I'm just struggling to figure out how I'm gonna wear it if I'm not able to curl my lashes after putting it on, because like I said, my lashes are gonna fall. So that might not be the best product for me. But if your lashes are naturally, you know, open and lifted, you know, if you're not gonna be curling your lashes after you apply mascara, if that's not something that you do, something that you need to do, go ahead and try out that mascara. Let me know what you think. For me, it's just not gonna work, unfortunately. The brow gel, however, I could see working into my routine. I do like that like fluffy brow. I like the fibers it added to my eyebrows. They just look a little bit more bushy and fluffy and full, and they kind of just have that like natural brow texture about them. The highlighter, I added some more. It is stunning. And the foundation I'm actually really liking too. It's not too heavy on the coverage. You can still see my spot kind of peeking through my makeup there, but it is a super pretty foundation and it was definitely needed in the Fenty lineup. I feel like they were missing kind of that more like hydrating, glowy type of complexion products. So they definitely filled a gap. They're like right on point. They're just flying out the new makeup. And so I feel like I'm always gonna have something from Fenty in this series, but they have yet to like really disappoint me or let me down. They're just like on fire. Here is the finished look. My favorite part about it is the lip, which is like mostly drugstore and none of the new makeup. And the lashes, which were just to save the crusty, crumbly mascara. So this was an interesting one this week, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, this one really humbled me to the fact that I'm not gonna love everything. Everything isn't gonna work for me, even if I want it to work for me. When I get these products in PR, I'm super grateful to the brands, and I want the brands to feel like I appreciate that and that I'm excited about their products. They were excited to send them to me. But the reality is not everything is gonna work for me. Not everything is gonna be my favorite thing. And so we just kind of experienced a little hit of reality today, but the look still came together. Let that be the lasting note, is that, you know, everything is fixable, and just because something doesn't work for me doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you. All the feedback and all the experiences we can get from each other just help us all out, right? I still think we pulled this together. It's a very, very cute, pretty, soft glam look. Let me know what you think of this look down in the comments. If you made it this far and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? I mean, come on. I do this new in beauty series monthly, so I'd love to see you here next month for everything that's new. Thank you so much for watching, friend. I will see you next week. Bye.